Hi, good morning, good morning, everyone. Uh, just wanted to stop by and share with you this morning. I'm glad that you are here, glad to have you with us. And today I just want to share a word that I believe will encourage you. In this time, many of us may feel uncertain about the future. We may feel uncertain about what is going on with our lives. We may be discouraged as well based on what has been happening to us. Different challenges with work, challenges with family, challenges with children. For those who are here in Jamaica, you may be faced with, the uncertainty where back to school shopping is concerned. You yourself may be going back to school, and there are just so many things that are pulling us in different directions. But when we look back at Jeremiah, Jeremiah 29, verse 11, one of the most quoted Bible verses, it says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope." This is such a powerful scripture, right? When we dig into the Hebrew language, it gives us even more insights, right? The word plans is comes from the Greek word which is mashavat, which doesn't just mean casual thoughts, right? It really means to carefully weave, to carefully design. So God is saying, I have carefully designed plans for your life. It means that things don't just happen by chance. Things don't happen by a whim. When we even look at Isaiah 55, verse 8 and 9, it says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declare the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." That is such a beautiful verse. It tells us that everything about us is carefully designed. God is saying that the things that may seem as if they are inconsequential, that they are happening out of the whim, that you feel like you are just on a log drifting at this on the sea, and you're being tossed to and fro, right? He's saying that, listen, this is something that is carefully designed for me. It is carefully designed by me, right? I have carefully designed plans. I have thought about you so deeply, so intricately, that things don't happen by chance. And then it says, "For his plans are of shalom." Now, shalom is not just peace, right? It is wholeness, it is health, it is safety, it is prosperity, it is completeness, right? So it's saying that the carefully thought plans that I have woven, that I have stitched together for you, are carefully designed so that you can become whole, so that there is safety where you are concerned, and not sometimes not just for our lives, but so that we can bring shalom to somebody else. We go through the storm so that we can help someone else to become at peace, right? We go through a particular road so that we can become helpers to somebody else, so that we can be beacons of hope and beacons of change, right? And so this shalom here is not just peace, that I am at rest, that nobody now bother me, but it is a carefully designed strategy to bring about health, wholeness, safety, and completeness, right? And then he says it's not for, what the word here is, ra, not for evil, right? It's not for this. So he's saying that the thoughts and the plans that I have for you, they are not to harm you. They are not to bring you into destruction, right? They are not to bring you into disaster. They are not to cause you to go down. So he's saying that you go through it, but it is not for your demise. It is not for your calamity, right? He is now saying that I am not going to cause you, even when you feel as if that I am going through such a disaster. It is such a terrible time. The ultimate aim is that you will not go under, you will not go down, you will not face harm, you will not face calamity, right? Because he is saying, remember Isaiah 55, right, 8 and 9, it says, as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So God is not going to bring you here for you to be left here. He says he gives beauty for ashes. The last time we spoke on that, and we said that, the ashes here means that there are times where we go through some things so that we can exit a particular season of our lives. But isn't it beautiful that the exit of one season brings something new into perspective, right? And so we might feel like this season there is disaster, there is calamity, but then God has just this beautiful way of bringing something new out of each and every one of us, out of each and every season that we face, right? And so when we look at Jeremiah 29 verse 11, it is such a comfort, right, when we look at it, because he's saying, listen, the thoughts, the plans that I have for you, the plans that I have woven together, the plans that I'm stitched together, right? They are to bring you peace, and then there is no evil that will overshadow you, overcome you, right? And then he says, right? And then he says to give you a future, right? And so sometimes God builds something that is called character. It builds something that is called stick to itiveness or faithfulness, right? So there's a difference between faith and faithfulness. Faith is that I have confidence in, but faithfulness means that after I have demonstrated faith, that I stick towards it, that I continue through the process, that I continue, right, in being faithful in relation to that which I have received, right? And so he's saying that it is to give us a future, a destiny, and an unexpected end, a takiva, a hope, a lifeline, something to hold on to when things feel uncertain. He says, listen, that isn't this just so beautiful here? He says he's to give us a future, a takiva, a hope, a lifeline. So it means that we go through the different periods of this of disasters, the harms, the things that come, right, as if they want to come and overthrow us. But he says, listen, there's a hope, there's a lifeline, there's something to hold on to, right, when things and times feel uncertain. So God is not just don't worry, things will be okay. He is declaring, I have a woven destiny for you, filled with wholeness, filled with hope. It's secure no matter what you're facing right now. God is the sure lifeline, right? And so I just want to encourage us, right, that maybe you are looking at your life and you're thinking, this isn't what I have planned. Maybe it is that God has something completely woven for you that you may have wandered from, right? You may feel broken, you may feel hopeless, you may feel dismayed, but understand this, that God's Mashavat is still at work. His shalom is still promised, right? It's the kiva, the lifeline, the hope that he has prepared for you is still extended towards you, right? So I just want to encourage you today. I want you to hold on to the truth of God that is found in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, right? That God has plans for you, and his plan for you is good. See you next time.